the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris Don One. Welcome to another rendition of Based on a True Story podcast. It's your host, your moderator, the host with the most. I'm Chris Don One. Welcome, 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 welcome. Feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. Okay, public service announcement, public service announcement. Two things I need to talk about before we get into today's story. First, I'd like to say this for the record. I'm on my phone, so it's going to be very, very difficult for me to read your messages, okay? Because I don't know if y'all done live streams on your phone, but the text is a lot smaller. So bear that in mind if you send me a message. Plus, I will read all messages at the end of this story. Okay. Happy Black Friday for everyone out there. Hope y'all get into some great deals. I checked out Target. Target is got some wonderful deals. Best Buy, Walmart. The list goes on and on and on to the break of dawn. If you have a Sam's Club membership, I would, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of deals over there as well as Amazon. Amazon is going to have Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So get in where you can fit in. Hope everyone get their, I hope everyone get the sales that they're looking for, get the things that they're looking for, preparing themselves for Christmas. I don't know if a lot of people celebrate Christmas like back in the day. Back in the day, when you was a kid, you had this belief that some white dude with a red jumpsuit is going to climb down your chimney and give you Christmas gifts because you was a good girl or a good boy all through the year. When I was, I believed in Santa Claus all the way up to when I think I was 6 or 7. And when I found out that, and it's kind of crazy how I found out because I asked my father, I said, hey, you think Santa Claus is going to get me? I forgot what it was at the time, some toy at the time. And my father looked me square dead in the eyes and said, the real question is your daddy going to get you that? Daddy works too hard for Santa Claus, a mythical being, to take all the credit. All right. So I said around about 6 or 7, I got out of the Santa Claus phase because, my father just, told it like it is, not like it was. Okay. But nevertheless, I'm the best. Let's get into today's story time. Story time. So I've seen people get fired all kinds of ways. There's really no wrong or right way to get fired. Okay. It's embarrassing. Particularly the person who's going to get fired because, as far as them having a future at that company, that future is over with. And, look, I feel like 99.9% of people that get fired really didn't even have a solid plan B, in case of fire, break the glass. Like, okay, so what if I got fired? Someone else is going, this other company is willing to hire me too, particularly in these times, having a job is precious. Okay. You definitely don't want to be effing around at your workplace. Okay. So try to follow the rules and regulations to the best of your ability. Okay. Make sure that you're not late all the time and make sure you don't call out a lot. Damn for sure, do not leave early, because leaving early from a shift can jeopardize your future at your workplace. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, I've seen people get fired all types of ways. Now, I used to work at Kroger, and it's this union store. And the union can protect you on a lot of things if you get fired. Okay. They can protect you from getting fired. All right. But there's 2 things that the union, it can't, excuse, can't allow you to keep your job. One of the things is stealing time. Stealing time is a huge no. Not only at Kroger where I used to work at, but just at any company. No company is going to tolerate you stealing their time. Now, there are several ways you can steal time. You can clock in, sit in your car, and then go back to your car and chill for like 4 or 5 hours. That is stealing time, folks. You can, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can clock in and just say, you just go outside, smoke, shoot the breeze, whatnot. A lot of companies consider that stealing time. So I'm telling you guys, be careful about that. So yeah, stealing time is one way. It's an automatic no. You can't you can't come back from stealing time. All right. The next thing is stealing their property. What do I mean by stealing their property? Stealing their money, stealing their merchandise. That's a huge no. Okay. You definitely don't. If you got sticky hands, it's best to keep your sticky hands in your pocket. All right. If you got sticky hands, if you're a kleptomaniac, it's best for you to not take positions where there's cash involved. Okay. Or if you're putting on an order, it's just weird. Okay. So yeah, stealing merchandise and stealing time. Those are the two things you can't come back from. All right. Everything else is kind of questionable. All right. So peep this. So like there was this old dude and he had this black Ford Mustang and he used to work in the meat department. His name was Ricky. All right. So Ricky was like one of those know-it-all loud mouths. Okay. And he was very short. I don't know if there's a lot of people that are short, but from my dealings with short people, they have like a huge chip on their shoulder. Like they got to overdo it. Like, it's just weird to me. So Ricky worked in the meat department and Ricky lost his job because he not only flirting with the female coworkers, but he was taking pictures. All right. So the camera saw him taking pictures of female coworkers, female customers, and they just got him up out of there. All right. Now, at the time, Ricky was like a meat manager, he was making some buku type money. I mean, he was making so much money, man. Like every week he'll drive to the casino. That's how much money he was stacking it on top of stacks. Okay, Ricky, with the type of level of education he has, and the type of personality, type of person he is, the type of money he was making, he should be thanking God and the heavens above, or whatever God he believes in, because he is so lucky to even have a job like that. Ricky is one of them type of people that when he tells you what he do, you be like, word, for real? You look at Ricky, you think that he cleans floors or something. Clean the parking lot from lottery tickets and cigarette butts. That's what Ricky looks like. All right. So Ricky lost his job. Is there a happy ending to this? No, because, well, maybe in Ricky's point of view it is. Ricky started working at this golf place as a groundskeeper, making far less than what he was making as a meat manager. But hey, you live and learn. All right. So this next woman, she was from Jamaica, and damn, I forgot her name. She got a fat ass. Why do all Jamaican women have fat asses? I have never met a Jamaican woman with a flat ass. It's always a fat ass. I forgot her name, man. She had one of those weird names. I mean, it was a cute name, but it's like you just can't keep it in your mind that long. Okay. So she was like a grocery manager, and she lost her job. She lost her job basically because, she was like taking the merchandise, and she was the grocery clerk. She can reduce the prices on a lot of items. So she would do that for stuff that was past dated or stuff that's on clearance. Like, you're supposed to really you know, make it, you know, the the scanner will recommend the prices you can market to, but there's a way you can go beyond that and make it even lower. So she was getting like 5 or 6 buggies full of Tide detergent, and she was selling them to herself for like 50 cent or $1, some weird price. And see, with those scanners, it records everything what you do on there. And it's basically, sending a sheet to LP and to it's sending to corporate. Corporate sees some unusual activities on your account. They send it to LP. LP goes to the store, look at the cameras. They, get the information off the scanner, and then she lost her job. Now, kind of there is a happy ending with her. She works for Pepsi now. I think she drives trucks for Pepsi. I've heard Pepsi makes real good money. I think she's making probably a little bit more than what she was making as a grocery clerk. Okay, so we got rid of her, and then we got this other girl by the name of, I forgot her fucking name. Shit, start with a T. Tink. Yeah, Tink. That was her name, Tink. She was a straight dyke. Okay, she likes women. Okay, when you see her, she just wears men clothing. She wears, boots, men boots and stuff. You know, so Tink would, and she was cool with me. I had no issues with her. But a lot of people wasn't feeling her because people at my location, they felt like, they should have gave that position to somebody that was, been working at that store for quite some time. But that position was up on the wall for like a couple of months, and nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. And nobody from other stores wanted it. So they post the job on Link Me or what, some job site, and she applied for it and she got it. Okay, so people were kind of hating on her for that, but I ain't see no hate in it. Okay, hey, everyone had an opportunity to get a job. Nobody wanted the job. Okay, so in the beginning, they was kind of doing her dirty, man. They were really doing her wrong and shit. All right, so they would basically uh, uh, have her working things or working in positions that like they would have her on the back room. And there's this weird dude named Kurt. He was cool with the manager, the store manager. So when Tink comes in, Tink would work the back room and Kurt would be out on the floor doing her job. In the beginning, they supposed to be training this girl. They come to find out they were just using this girl. So as I'm telling the story, really, I shouldn't even be telling y'all this story. So basically, bonus time came around. So all of the department heads, they get a bonus. They get like a $2,000 bonus. All right. And at that time, they were really, fucking with Tink. They would still do that little scam. And then they would snitch on her. Like if she goes, like she goes outside and smoke a black and mild, Kurt or somebody would go snitch on her and then get her in trouble and shit. So she got pissed off about that stuff. So when when everybody got their $2,000 check, she got her $2,000 check too. She exit stage left and just quit. She just left them. She just left them hanging. All right. So now they had to find someone else to do it. And they ended up getting another guy named Samuel. He came from the front end. He had no clue about how to be a grocery manager, but he knew how to kiss ass. Okay, he was a dig eater. All right, Samuel was a dig eater. All right, so really, I shouldn't even told y'all that story because she didn't quit. She didn't get fired. She just quit. All right. So another thing is, I told you this story on Storytime a couple of live streams ago. There was this gay dude. He would steal money in the customer service desk, and they called him. and he had a boyfriend that worked at this same location too. So they called him, and when they called him, they he lost his job. But then LP started watching his boyfriend. Damien was watching Damien. They was on Damien's ass like a hawk. Thanks for the thumbs up. They were watching him like wasn't no tomorrow. Like he already done committed a crime. They were watching him for like a good solid 11 months. Okay, after they let go of his boyfriend. All right. And then another time, there was this girl, and I still have her phone number in my phone. God damn, if I wasn't on my phone, I can tell y'all. I think her name was Brenda. Uh, it started with a B. It was a white girl. She had a fat ass, and her whole family worked there. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? In the beginning, her whole family worked there. Her son would work in the meat department, and her daughter would work on the night crew in drug GM, and she would work on the night crew in grocery. So what happened was the reason why she lost her job was she would call out, and when she calls out at home, she would clock in using the app at home. Which is a huge. I didn't know you can clock in from home. And she was doing that for like a while, and then they just let her go. So her daughter ended up not showing up the next day. Hey, look, man, it's kind of embarrassing, coming to work and they just let go of your mom because she was still in time. And, they was on her anyway because, snitch. It's a bunch of snitches at this location I used to work at. They would, like Brian, they would go report it to management that she'll sit in the restroom she'll sleep in the restroom all day. And first it was like telling on her with the grocery GM manager. Grocery GM manager would be getting on her. And then her mom would come in and try to defend her with the grocery manager. But now she's no longer there. She don't have no backup, so she just ended up quitting. Okay, cool. I mean, I liked her. She was cool. I like her. She got a fat ass though. I wouldn't mind breaking off a Kit Kat bar in it. But hey, she had a fat ass, and she was real nice to me, real respectful. I ain't had no issues with her. Her daughter, was nice. She was cool. She was cool and all that. And I still see them occasionally, but hey, it is what it is, So, but yeah, another thing is there was this dude, and this is he'll have his girlfriend come in, and he would check out his girlfriend. And he would check out at first he was checking out half of the order. The rest of the order she would get for free. Okay. And I guess that scheme was working for a while. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? That scheme was working for a while until they got a little ahead of themselves. Then she'll come in and he wouldn't scan nothing. He'll bypass the scanner and put it down the belt. And she would bag the groceries. He would never wanted a bagger. He would bag his own groceries and stuff. So he was doing that for a little bit. LP was, watching his ass. And they got him up out the paint. All right. And Herbert, there was another dude named Herbert. And he was hooked and fixated on lottery tickets. Every day he would buy like $100 worth of lottery tickets. Ain't none of my business, but I be saying to myself, how in the hell he's got $100 to, buy a lottery ticket? He tell me he'll hit a lot. But every time I would see him, he would miss a lot on these lottery tickets. But hey, it ain't none of my business. You dig what I'm saying? So Herbert was taking, at first they thought Herbert didn't know how to count. And they said, well, Herbert's kind of special. His tail's always short, and they would say he's just special, okay? So then they started moving him around different registers, but they still couldn't figure it out. Even LP couldn't figure it out. So one day, Herbert was ringing up this customer, told this customer how much she owed. She gave him the money of the amount. She gave him the amount. And then Herbert would try to slide it and put it in his pocket. But see, Herbert is real slow with his hand. He'll have the drawer open, and it looks like he's getting ready to stuff the money in the little money thing, the money dividers, but he would slide it into his pocket. And then the customer saw him doing it, and then immediately, hey, what's up? Immediately, the customer told management, and then management called LP again, and then they got him. They got his ass, all right? So it's kind of funny. It's kind of sad and funny at the same time. They fired him midway through the shift. So at least he didn't have to work a whole shift, and then they call him to the back, and then they fire him then. They at least, fired him mid-shift, and, I would be out, the bus stop is not that far from the store, and you can see straight down the bus stop from inside the store. And it was kind of sad, man, because it was kind of funny and sad at the same time, because every so often, and the bus would be so late, you can look down there, you'll see Herbert on the bus stop, and you see Herbert on the bus stop, and, everybody, making fun and make jokes and stuff. So, man, look, I ain't mean to do it. It was just it was too tempting, okay? So I walked down there, and I asked Herbert, I said, hey, Herbert, you coming back for your lunch? Herbert said, nah, Chris, I'm not coming. Hold up. Nah, Chris, I'm not coming back for my lunch. No, he said, nah, Chris, I'm not taking a lunch. So then I said, so, are you coming back for your 15-minute break? He said, nah, Chris, I'm not even on a 15-minute break. And that's when the bus rolled up. And then he walked up there. He walked up to the bus stop. And he walked into the bus. And I said, I'll see you tomorrow, Herbert. I said, I'll see you tomorrow, Herbert. And I ain't seen Herbert since then. Now, there's rumors that's going around Herbert works for Publix, but that was like a long time ago. I don't know. All right. So let me tell you something that happened at my job like a couple of weeks ago. All right. So they, like LP, like we'll have these meetings, right? And LP will be there, and LP will be telling us that, hey, how you doing? How you doing? LP would say, make sure that you have your smock on, and you can't have a backpack or a bag or a purse in your work area, which it's not no big deal to me, because I'm saying to myself, well, who the fuck will have a backpack or a satchel or whatever in their work? It just don't look right. All right. So everybody's cool with it. Okay. So I'm looking around like, who has a backpack? Come find this lady, and she has a backpack. Now, I ain't accusing her of stealing, but I will say this. When she comes in, before she clocks in, you can look at the backpack, and it's kind of flat, like it ain't shit in there. And then when you go home, backpack be full like a motherfucker. All right. I'm not accusing her of stealing, but it just don't look right. All right. So management just kept telling her on and on and on, like, hey, you can't bring that backpack in here. I said, they told, they were real nice about it. They were real cool about it. They said, hey, look, we got lockers. If you want to put it in a locker, that's cool. We got a designated area where you can put your backpack at, but your backpack can't be with you at the workplace. All right. Where you work at. First, she was cool with it. Then the second time, she still, she thought that, but maybe if I, don't have my backpack on me for like 2 days, wait for it to blow over, I can have my backpack. All right. So basically, hold up, y'all. Okay. Yeah, I paused it. Okay. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. All right. So basically, they she waited 2 or 3 days, and she felt like, thanks for the thumbs up. She felt like, okay, after 2 days, we can go right back to regular scheduling programming already in effect. So she, once again, go back in. She starts having a backpack at her workplace. So management calls her to the back. All right. And then I guess this is the final time for them saying, hey, you can't have your backpack with you at your workstation. So she got kind of pissed off about it, okay? Because she was talking to me, like I'm in one aisle, she's talking to me in another aisle. She's saying, I don't understand why I can't have my backpack at at my workstation. Now, I'm up here trying to, calm her down and saying like, I felt like at that time, ain't no sense trying to tell her, well, hey, why don't you just get a locker? Or why don't you put it in a designated area, or just don't bring it at all? I just felt like that's not the time or the place to have, to talk to her with logic. So I was just going like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but you know what? If that's gonna be an issue, then hey, maybe you shouldn't have your backpack. That's you grown, you do whatever you want to do. She agreed, okay? So it's like 2 weeks. I ain't seen no backpack. She stopped, bringing her backpack. I'm like, okay, cool. She understands. She knows what's going on. After 2 weeks, she comes back with the backpack again. Now the manager, he's pissed. She after 2 weeks, no backpack. Now it's not 2 weeks no backpack, and then now you starting to bring your backpack in there. Okay, so the manager done had enough of it, but I could tell he was pissed, but he didn't call. I was waiting for him to call her to the back. He didn't call her to the back. All right, so we working all the way through. I'm thinking, well, maybe the manager has to change your heart. Maybe he understands that, hey, look, I ain't gonna fight this. This is childish. Why am I going through all this stuff? So, hey, what's up? So I'm just gonna just let it be. Let sleeping dogs lie, sort of say. So shift's over with. It's like 7:00. Everybody's clocking out and shit. They call her to the back office. I'm not even thinking about the backpack situation. You feel me? I'm thinking it's something else. So I'm shopping, and like 5 minutes later, she comes walking on the sales floor. It's customers everywhere. You dig what I'm saying? It's customers everywhere. All I hear her say is, fuck this shit. She said it out loud, too, in front of customers and shit. I'm going like, what the fuck going on? So, everybody looking at her like, man, what's going on? But nobody didn't want to say nothing because she was kind of pissed off, okay? So later, I found out that it's the backpack issue, all right? And it's bad enough they keep telling you not to bring your backpack and you're not following their orders, but it's even worse when you go back there and you go running your mouth. See, I be telling people, hey, man, when the managers be, pulling you to the side or taking you to the back, now it's not a good time to show your ass, okay? Because you might be showing your ass all the way on out the door. So apparently they done fired her. They really fired her because she missed a lot of days and they're unexcused. But low key, we all knew what they fired her about. They fired her over the backpack situation, okay? So her husband works there too, saying that she's gonna fight it and shit like that. Nobody ain't heard nothing since then. All right. So yeah, those are some funny, those are some interesting stories. Stories from retail, story time. My advice to y'all is, man, be on board with whatever they want you to do. They're not gonna tell you nothing illegal. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the orders. And if you don't like it, you feel like they too strict, you feel like they too lenient or whatever, you can always work there long enough until you find your own thing. Well, anyway, I'm up out of here. It's your boy. Hope everyone liked this story time. Hope you learned something from this story time. It's your boy, the host with the most, the do not brag a boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gone. Deuces.